Hi, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be an interesting reading today. I've been receiving some messages already this morning, so it'd be interesting if any of those come out in this today. I have no idea where we're going with it. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. I work with runes, tarot cards and oracle cards, and I pick different ones each time. You will never see the same reading twice. It's always different, and I just work with the collective energy that's in there. So the more that you like, the more that you comment, the more that you subscribe, I'll be pulling more on that energy. At least that's what I believe anyway, and I want you to go and subscribe, so that's why I said that. Let's get into it, shall we? So first of all, I'm going to use the moon cards, and moon cards, they have little words on them and pictures on them that can relate to things that are going on in your life right now. So this just gives us a little picture and something to focus on at this time. Synchronicity. So actually, I don't know if anybody else has been feeling like this lately, but I've had a lot of synchronicities going on. Number patterns, animals as well, or music too, where you kind of like, maybe you or listening to a piece of music or something, and then you're talking to somebody and they mention this particular piece of music. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So this could be your reading if you've been finding a lot of synchronicities lately. You may be very aware of like the retrogrades as well at the moment. That's why I feel like this looks like a planet on there. So perhaps you feel very affected by that at the moment. They say, don't they, that like your exes get back in touch and things like that. Or there's, you know, I see a lot actually of angry people, like angry families. Like the other day I went to the pub with my children, that sounded really bad, for a meal. And there was this couple just like having this massive row. And then the next place we went to, there was a family having a big row. And it's like the energies are a little bit unstable, I feel, at the moment. And one of the messages I was getting before was something about gullibility, of feeling gullible, feeling pulled into things and then kicking yourself because you got pulled into it, that kind of thing. So synchronicity, that's something to think about on there. I'm going to get another one. So again, this is your reading. If you've been noticing those synchronicities, you'll know who you are. If you haven't, it might still be your reading. And maybe that's something that's coming up for you at the moment. But we have intuition as well. So synchronicities and intuition. So you are a person that is starting to really lift the veil, removing illusion and seeing things very, very clearly for what they really are. You're starting to follow your intuition. You may be a Pisces, or if this is, you are watching tarot readings to get information on somebody else, that person might be a Pisces. So this energy right now is about you following that intuition. So allow these synchronicities and things to guide you. Maybe ask, why am I seeing that, and why did I see it at that particular point? And this is something I say to all of my clients when they say to me, I saw this, what does it mean? And the first question I always ask them is, what were you thinking about at the time when you saw it? Because that's important. Although most people say, I don't know what I was thinking. Well, one, how can you not know what you were thinking? And two, try and bring it back, because there may have been a reoccurring thought pattern that is then, you know, the universe saying like, well, look at this, and this is what's relating to that particular thought that's going on in your mind. Now, people only get those kind of things, and people only really notice animal omens and synchronicities if they are opening up Ajna chakra, if they're opening up that brow center, awakening your intuitive psychic center, okay? And when you do, that's when you start to notice things aligning on the spiritual sense. So you may start to have more conversations with people around spirituality. You might just be stood next to somebody somewhere and notice they're wearing a crystal or something, and you get into a conversation. It's quite beautiful when your path unfolds. I was thinking about this the other day because I found this deck of cards that I've used. I've had these for years. And when I first started on my spiritual journey, these were gifted to me. And I haven't seen them for a long time. And it was only when I was finding a yoga mat the other day that I found them. And I was like, oh, wow. It brought up a lot of memories of the very beginning of my journey. And I feel like there's many of you right now that are watching these videos that are in that space, and it's like you've opened your eyes up to a world that you didn't even know existed, but you can see how it works and how it's aligning yourself with that. You are divinely protected, and things start to happen in your life, things start to manifest in your life. So intuition is a big factor in this reading today. Let's get another one. I don't know why. I feel really called to, I only normally get one of these out, but I just feel really called to give you some more information on this. This could be quite a long reading, you know. I was just going to jump on and do a quick one, but I'm feeling a bit like time doesn't really matter today. Time does not matter today. And that's a nice feeling. I'll tell you why in a minute, because that was another thing that I had come through. You might want to go and make yourself a cup of tea. Perhaps there isn't another one to come out. Okay, all of them came out, but I'm going to put those ones back and grab this one that fell. Transition. So, you following your intuition and watching out for these synchronicities is helping you to transition. It's helping you to move along that path to where you need to be right now and who you need to be. I don't like saying it like that, of like, oh, you need to watch this video to know what to do next. It's almost like, well, if I didn't watch the video, I'd still be doing something, wouldn't I? I'd still be moving somewhere. I don't feel there are things hidden around me that are going to jump out at me if I don't watch a tarot reading, or, you know, if I don't sort of look at the cards today, that kind of thing. Don't ever think like that. You will be guided into whatever you do or don't do, and there is no right or wrong path. There is just the left or right path, okay? It doesn't make it right or wrong. Now, with the transition, I love these two stars in the top of the tree, because they make me feel like you've aligned your head and your heart. You've aligned something there, and it's sat in your own personal world tree. You know who you are. You know you're going through a transition right now. You're still yourself, you're still you, but you are noticing a difference, a change. And that may be apparent in when you talk to people that have been in your life a long time. They're not understanding you as much, or they don't really get what you're talking about. Or you might have suggested to them like, oh, I saw a squirrel today and it was doing this, that, and they might just be like, well, yeah, it's just a squirrel. But to you, it's almost like, yeah, but it was doing this and that was unusual and it felt something, because you're switched on to your intuition. You're switched on to noticing these synchronicities, because your guides are trying to bring this information to you to help you on this transition to your spiritual awakening. So that's who I feel I'm talking to today. Now I've got these are Sacred Wisdom, what are they called? Sacred Feminine Oracle cards. So it doesn't matter whether you're masculine yourself or feminine, we've all got the feminine aspects within us. So these just tap into an energy of, it can kind of connect with past wounding, things like that. But they just give us that little bit more information onto how we're connecting this today, and then we'll get into the runes and the tarot. So let's see what we have on here. Just hoping I have enough storage on my phone, because I've recorded a lot of videos lately and sometimes they cut out if you haven't got enough time, and I've got a feeling this is going to be longer than I expected it to be. Let's see what we have. Do we have anything for the Sacred Feminine? I do love shuffling these cards. They're quite satisfying because they're so smooth. Okay, I think I'm just going to try that one more time. I think because they're so slippy, I'm going to have to get one out. I'll pull one out. Wild. You are reaching your wild side now. That's brilliant. I love that. You want to be wild. You're that kind of person, aren't you, that would like to just run around in the woods, making your fire, cooking your tea, you know, go and hunt for a rabbit or something and cook it, and just living in that wild kind of way. You're a wild person. I like that about you. And this is about finding a way to embrace that wildness within you, but also still need to be there in the mundane, you know, earning the money, paying the bills. Maybe you've got things that you need to pay off at the moment, and that's making you feel frustrated because you want to express this wild side of yourself. you have dreams and ambitions of being wild and just doing what you want to do. Don't ever fear your wildness, and don't ever suppress it for the sake of anybody else. I did that for a very long time, and it just doesn't work for you. It really doesn't. You need to embrace your wild side. And it doesn't matter if that appears to be too much for people around you, well, then it's too much for them, isn't it? But you shouldn't put yourself in a box to be able to be around people in your life. It's the other way around. You know, people need to just see you as you are. And you'll be surprised how actually some people surprisingly do accept you as you are in all your transitions, in how you are moving and what you are. And those are your people. Those are your true people. It's like they don't actually, well, they do care. They don't care how wild you get. If you decide to go and wear, you know, your flipping leotard and pretend to be a cat all day or something, well, okay, it might be a little bit like that's not normal, but the right people in your life, they just accept that about you. They might, you know, jib you a little bit about it or be like, why do you want to do that? But at the end of the day, they accept you as you are. Okay, so embrace your wild side. Be your wild, authentic self. Don't put that on the back burner. Don't allow that to be dampened. Okay, so let's pick some runes that go with what we're talking about today, because I do feel whoever's watching this right now, this is for you. If you are feeling this energy of transition into your spiritual self, your spiritual awareness, because it feels like you're trying to see yourself living that life, but where you are currently in your life, it's difficult because of the people that are around you. So let's have a look and see what runes we're working with on this energy. We have I was, and that fits in perfectly with this, because this is about death and rebirth. This is initiation periods. It's I've got an energy of somebody, this might be you, somebody walking around like graveyards and things, going and sitting down by trees there. You, I feel, have suddenly started taking time to go and sit with yourself in places of nature or places that you feel are spiritual or sacred. There is an element of that coming through on here. And because you've been doing that, and in the spaces you've been doing that, this is where you've been seeing these synchronicities. This is where you've been seeing these animal omens and things changing for you and happening for you. You know, I am very aware at the moment that there is this manifesting portal that's opened right now. And I have been guided to set up courses for people to help them to manifest what they want. And it's working. You know, I've got clients that have gone for interviews to get jobs that they've been absolutely desperate for because they haven't got any work coming in, they haven't got any money, and they've gone and got the job. But it's because of the consistency, the ability to show up and ignore the lower vibration conversations telling them they can't do this or they can't do that, or what do you want to go for that for? Just go and get a job over here, or do you know what I mean? Why have you got to strive for something that you really want when it's difficult to get it? But you know, well, it's because it's what I really want. That's the direction I want to go in. That's where I want to be. And right now is a powerful energy of being able to manifest that. But like with any manifestation, just because you can manifest it and achieve it doesn't mean that it's easy, and doesn't mean that it's not going to be a challenge to you to keep it. But if you're saying that's what I want and that's what the universe is providing for you, it's rude not to accept it. Take that opportunity. So I was is kind of like shedding that skin here, shedding that old skin of your old belief system of lack and not being able to. And for some of you, there's an energy of, and please don't be offended by me saying this because I don't mean it in that way. I can relate this to myself as well, but there's an energy of like gullibility. So sort of like where an opportunity kind of seems too good to be true, you want to believe that it's true. And in the past, you've gone for it and realised it wasn't true and I thought it was. You know, like those kind of, like I did this aloe vera thing once years ago, and the woman there was very wealthy and she showed me, you know, her home and everything and made it sound like she got all of that because of this job that she was doing. So I joined it thinking, yeah, I'm going to be minted by the end of the month and blah, blah, blah. And no, it was very difficult, very, very difficult. So that's the kind of energy I'm talking about. You've learned from that it's sort of like actually chasing after something that's wearing you down, that's not it. But what you're manifesting now comes from a deeper place. It comes from channeling a flow of energy. And you've realised, you know, that chasing money isn't the way. It's give and take, balance, trying to get that balance going. Wow, talked about that one a lot, didn't I? Let's see what else we have. I've got I was on there, what follows that? Algiers. Okay, a very important rune anyway. I feel like this is kind of like the raft that holds a lot of other runes together, because boundaries, holding boundaries with people, protecting yourself when you need to, but not being so protective that you create a barrier between yourself and the life that you want to live. Okay, there's a balance to this, getting a balance, making sure that you aren't, because when you're going down this route of finding out who you are on a spiritual sense and realizing your gifts and getting that download of manifesting the kind of lifestyle that you want, you will need to set some boundaries with people around you, but you'll also need to set some boundaries with yourself as well, in terms of you know, setting disciplines for yourself. So kind of, you can't make changes in this sense if you're going to keep hold of your old habits. Okay, so for instance, you want to do a regime that is more on the yoga lifestyle kind of thing. If you only do one aspect of yoga, you're not really fully being a yogi. Okay, you can throw a pose and things like that, but then if you go in and drinking a load and eating lots of crap and things, it's not going to give you the yogi lifestyle that you're looking for. There's so much else to the aspect of that lifestyle. And once you fully embrace the whole thing and you're like, right, I'm actually going to apply myself to the whole thing here, you get it then. Your body will change, your mind will change, you will maybe become more aligned with your intuition and things like that. So it all has a knock-on effect. So what you're telling yourself you want to manifest, you've got to show up for and make the changes that you need to habits and things and hold those boundaries. Let's see. So this next rune is kind of like a final outcome here. Okay, Thorazaz. That's a very, very strong rune. And this is one of the first runes I had. I always feel you get this rune when you're about to embark on the journey of your life. Okay, this is the action to take. So Thorazaz is also a protection rune. So you've got actually 3 runes that signal protection on there. You are a badass. I'd say you're a very determined and strong person. I feel like I needed to tell you that because I feel like at the moment you don't feel you are. Some of you, you're saying you don't think you've got much to give, or you don't have a lot about you that you feel is worthy or relevant, that kind of thing, in what you want to manifest. But this is telling you, oh yeah, you have. Now, I was doing a ritual up the woods once with Thorazaz, and when I'd finished, I heard this buzzing sound behind me, and when I turned round, there was this, oh, it was a queen hornet. I have never seen anything before in my life. Now, I've grown up like being really scared of bees and wasps and things, and it'd have this involuntary need to just run away. I wouldn't even be able to stay there. I'd have to run off. And this hornet, I took one look at it and the involuntary run came. I had to actually run away. I left this particular rune in the woods. I left it there for a day because I couldn't go back till the next day. And I had to sit with that because I was sort of like, you know, something that I feared the most was there, showed up for me. That was one of the synchronicities. That was one of the things that sparked my intuition, okay? And this was at the beginning of a major transition, a major shift in my life. Now, I'm telling you this story because that might relate to you. You may have had something that's kind of brought your fears to the forefront of your mind to make you realise, like, whoa, actually, maybe I need to go ahead and face my fears, yeah? Because perhaps you need to take that fear by the hand and walk with it. And that's what Thorazaz is kind of suggesting to you. It's like, it's time. It's time to take your fear by the hand and go, come on, we can do this. We're going to do this. And even though you may still be afraid of it, you're not letting it hold you back. You're not letting it create a barrier for you or stop you from moving forward. You're allowing it to take action. Okay. So this is a warrior reading today. This is somebody that is in their warrior energy right now. That wild, wild warrior. Okay. Embrace that wildness about you, because you really, really do need to understand the power in that you have. Because I see somebody that's they're torn between being the mundane, what they think they need to be or should be, and then this side of them that it just feels so freeing, so real, so natural. Do you know what I mean? You've got to let that side of you out. I always love, it's like, went on holiday last year and it was a hot day, and I'm nuts anyway. But this place where we went to, there was a pool, and while we were waiting for our food, I was just wandering around. I'm looking at the pool. Nobody else was in the pool, so I was like, I really, really fancy a dip. So I just jumped in with all my clothes on. I just jumped into the pool, and you should have seen the faces, and the people that I was with, the faces, you know, they were just a bit like, yeah, I don't know. But so what? I loved that. I enjoyed myself, and yeah, okay, I was dripping water everywhere, but it was fun, and I felt refreshed from it. It was spontaneous. And I do feel for some of you, this is the energy that you need to start bringing into your life now, is do something spontaneous just for you. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Don't worry if it seems unconventional or, you know, not quite what people would expect. Do it for the fact that they don't expect it. To watch their faces, that always makes me feel quite pleased, actually. And it's interesting watching people in that way, because you can see some people are like, fair play, like I'm actually going to be inspired by that. And then other people that are a bit sort of like, you're just showing off, or you're just trying to get attention or something like that. So, you know, people have their different opinions of you. People will always have their opinions of you. Some people will like you, some people won't like you. Some people will pretend to like you. Some people will pretend that they don't like you. That doesn't matter. All that matters is, do I like me? Do you like you? And allowing yourself to move through your precious life, your sacred life, in the way that you want to, without worrying about what anybody else thinks. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you know, obviously you don't want to go through your life bringing pain or discomfort to other people. But really, are you hurting anybody by making decisions and choices that suit you? I don't think so. So I'm going to use these Llewellyn cards that I haven't seen for a long while, and I've been enjoying working. Oh, look, we've got a room down here. Where did you come from? Now that's a sign. It's a synchronicity. It's something. I love it when readings go like this and you don't expect it. This is Tiwaz, the rune of commitment to yourself. This is somebody that has surpassed the teacher, if you like. It's like they've realised, I am now able to be the teacher of my own life. You've taken wise counsel, you've grown, you've expanded, you've realised I can actually step up. Like, I can be my own spiritual guru now. I can be my own spiritual leader. I've got enough information. I've opened my brow centre enough to understand my own intuition. So that's where you are, my friend, right now. You are completely accessing your higher conscience and channeling it in. So listen carefully to it. Listen to that and that only. Don't listen to what people are telling you. Because I do feel an energy of, like, I can see somebody talking to a lot of people about a situation in your life. And you're getting mixed communication on that. You're getting mixed signals, and it's actually throwing you out on what to actually do. It's taking you away from being guided by your own intuition. Okay, so that's interesting that fell out there. So let's get some some tarot cards on here then. So let's look at Iwas. So what is this that you're shedding right now? What are you shedding at this time? are you shedding? What I like about these cards as well is they're slightly smaller than some tarot cards. So if you've got like not very big hands like me, it's quite a lot easier to do. Oh, okay. So we've got the Page of Swords on here. Now this is, somebody's feeling quite restless, I feel, on this one. It can also signify messages coming through as well. So for some of you, there may be a letter or something confirming something that you've been hoping for. It's usually good news. But this is like somebody's really doing the studying here. So with this being with I was on there, you've learnt something. You may have learnt something about yourself or maybe about somebody else. And it's created a bit of a restless energy within you, wanting to know more. There's an energy of that, definitely wanting, I'm going to sit back a little bit, wanting to know more. Oh, there's a lot of swords on here. Yes, okay, so we've got the Four of Swords on there. So definitely that restless energy, something has been making you feel like perhaps you haven't been very well lately, or you've been having illnesses that you have been unexpected, you know, or that you don't normally get ill, but suddenly you're starting to have things happen. It's creating a space for you to rest. So what they're actually trying to do there is get you to sit with yourself so that you can receive these intuitive downloads, okay? And you have been doing that because it is creating for you this want to shed the old skin and be prepared for the new. And we have with it the Star, which is a wish fulfillment. This is about somebody that's manifesting what they want in their life. Whatever your expectations are, whatever you are hoping for, this is basically telling you, this is your intuition telling you that you are fulfilling that you are achieving this. Whatever the opportunity is that you're hoping for in your life is being manifested with this, okay? I like this energy. It feels very fresh. It feels like you've suddenly grown a new self and you're exploring that. Like you've realised, I don't have to be in this prison of this particular way of being. I've now found this new life, like this whole new way of going about things, being with things. I love it. I love it because I know it. I recognise it. I've been there myself. And when you open your eyes to this world that you didn't know existed before, it's precious, you know? Ah. So with Algiers, you've got the Four of Wands. This is celebration, freedom. You've really found a way to let go of habits and things from your past that have been holding you back, and you're ready to move into a stronger foundation. And there's a time here for celebrating that. This can also signify marriage or like, you know, togetherness with somebody. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. I do feel for some of you, this could be about like, I'm hearing my castle is my home. So I do feel for some of you, you are living in a place where you are grateful every day for what you have. And I feel like that has been heard, where you've been saying like, I love this. I love where I am. I'm really grateful for it. And because of that, you are being blessed. You're being blessed with this foundation. Stability is coming into your life right now. It's going to be different to what you know, but actually that's a good thing. But it is definitely bringing stability and protection. And you have got a need to celebrate. See all these bridges across here? So these are bridges that you've crossed to get to where you need to be, to get to where you want to be. You've done the work. You've put those pillars in place, ready for the foundations. It's strong. There's a real strong energy I can feel from you. And when you are determined, you are a go-getter and you do get what you want. So let's see what we've got for Thorazaz on here. So what is this action then that we're going for? What is your action? Okay, I'm not going to take that one. That was the Wheel of Fortune. And that is like completion and achievement. Okay. Oh, well. We did say before about the Four of Wands being sometimes about marriage, that kind of thing. So I do feel that the action here, we've got the Two of Cups, which is about union. So maybe this is taking action towards a union with somebody, a relationship. Maybe there's somebody in your life that is inspiring you. Perhaps you feel these synchronicities and the intuition and everything are around someone or something in your life. Now, that doesn't need to be a romantic partner. That could be a friend or just somebody from work or someone that you know that you've been around that's enlightened you to this new way of being, this new life. Maybe you've been watching somebody do that. But I do feel for many of you, this is about a relationship. This is about companionship, being with somebody, taking action on a commitment. Definitely with the Four of Wands there as well, there is an element of commitment there. And we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is somebody that comes out and it's clarity, okay? So it's like there is no guesswork here. This is exactly what it is. Now, if this is you, let me think about that. For some of you, this may be waiting on clarity and communication coming in. And you're having to, like with Thurazaz there, you're going to have to be very brave, I feel. It's like your communication needs to be brave and you've got to have courage to bring it forward. So maybe you need to tell somebody something. As part of this freedom, as part of you allowing yourself to really find this wildness within you, okay? Follow your intuition on that, because this is like a very wise leader. This is somebody that is courageous and brave and strong. You've got a lot to celebrate. You've got a lot to realise you've got going for you in your life, okay? There is so much going on at the moment in this transition for you. That's good. It's good energy. I'm going to see what this T-was is talking about now. So what is T-was there for? Why did it sneakily show up in the reading without us really knowing? Why did T-was just show up sneakily? What do we need to know about T-was? Okay, so we've got the Page of Cups on here. Now, the Page of Cups is kind of like a young energy. So there's a newness to you, I feel, accessing your emotional self. And this is somebody that is a bit of a dreamer. Like, you've got dreams and ambitions and things, but you can be a little bit naive, especially where love is concerned. I'm feeling on this. Because this is an energy of somebody that sort of has a feeling of wanting dreams of, like, you know, things being all romantic and nice and things like that, but there's like a bit of a naivety to that. So T-was is all about, like, make sure that you commit to yourself. Don't allow yourself to be distracted by things that are pulling you away from actually who I really am and what I really need. But don't stop dreaming. Don't stop hoping and wanting that kind of thing to come into your life, okay? Because it does feel like there is definitely something to do with love here that is coming into your life, with the Cup energy and the Four of Wands there. But it's about not losing yourself in that and making sure that you are committing to yourself, okay? So that possibly needed to be said on that one. So let's get final outcome on here for you. But it's a nice energy coming through from this because it's got strength to it, it's got that wildness to it, but it's also got a little bit of emotional intelligence to it as well. Allowing yourself to really access, like, how am I feeling about this? And going for it without being held back by what other people think or feel about it. let's have a look. So what is the final outcome on here? Maybe your final outcome is just about to be manifested. I just saw the Four of Cups on there, so I do feel there's an energy sometimes of somebody feeling a little bit lost, not quite having the energy to take action and move forward. We've got the Eight of Wands coming through on there, so this is actually really good news. Good news. It's again action, things coming in. This is one of my favourite cards. I love all the little deer on the bottom as well. So it's almost like you are being supported in what you are looking to do, in where you want to go with this. But it's definitely about good news coming through. You know, you've done the work. You've done the work on yourself. You're not going to be disappointed by what's to come in your life. You need to allow yourself to follow your intuition and be guided by it. Okay? So always allow yourself to be guided by that. I do feel for many of you, this is actually surprising support from family. You're going to be surprised by actually how supportive your family will be of what you want. And I feel like sometimes your family members, they tiptoe around you because they kind of just want you to be happy, but they'll go along with what you're saying, thinking that you're happy, even though actually, what am I trying to say? Even though they don't think it's the best thing for you, they'll just be sort of like, oh, you know, as long as you're happy. But really what you want from them is to say their truth, tell you actually what they really think and feel. But you'll see it in them on this, when you're sort of like, you know, I'm embracing this about myself. I'm going for what I want. I'm going to move truly from my heart. They're going to see that and honour that and realise like, yeah, we're happy for you. We're glad. Even if it contradicts what they've said before, because they weren't really being true before. They were just doing what they thought was in your best interest because they thought that's what you wanted. Okay, so they were trying to reinforce what you needed at that point. But now they can see it's like, no, it's the right thing to do. You've got some good news coming in. You've definitely got some good news coming in on this transition. Okay, so if you're feeling stuck at the moment, you're not going to be stuck for very long. You're going to be moving before you know it. When I say moving, I don't mean you're moving house or anything like that. I mean, you're making this transition in your life, okay? Because I do feel for many of you, you're actually feeling quite stable in your home life, in where you're at. So, yeah, that doesn't necessarily need to be the case. It's more moving from somewhere down here into here, okay? So, okay, we've got the Three of Swords on there. So, you may be feeling vulnerable at this time, and that can hold you back a little bit because there's going to be some parts of your life that are going to be leaving. There's going to be some parts of your life where you're going to have to let go of things, and that's going to hurt. It's going to bring a little bit of heartache, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, okay? Things that aren't working for you anymore, don't feel right for you anymore, you know, they're meant to go. They aren't meant to be in your life at this time. And you're being asked to almost like allow your heart to be opened in this way. I'm going to get another one on there just to clarify that Three of Swords energy on here. So where's the Three of Swords? Okay. I've got the Page of Pentacles on there. So yeah, I do feel, oh, sorry, move my legs. Okay. I feel like this energy, I don't remember whether it came out reversed or upright, but there's something about, with the Three of Swords, this transition you're going through is about learning from the past. Okay, it's learning from experience you've had before that have led to heartache. Okay, and it's asking you to see new opportunities, take the action on those new opportunities. Don't dwell on the past, learn from the past. Because what's going to happen is it's going to create for you this non-committal because of fear of being hurt. And this feels to me, if I get these two again, this feels like something is budding here, something new that feels stable, that feels exciting, that feels like it resonates with the version of yourself that you are, or at least are becoming. But if you don't commit to that and you procrastinate and you don't really go for it, then it's going to kind of keep you in this Three of Swords energy. You've got to forgive yourself for the past. There's a need for forgiving yourself on there so that you can move forward into these new opportunities and new ventures. Because this is about making plans, and you can't make plans if you're stuck in an energy of not forgiving yourself and procrastination. Okay, it kind of slows the energy right down. Okay, so I'm going to get one more card on this, and this is like your overall summary of how things are going to go right now. Yo. Don't like it when it does that. So annoying. So what is the final card? I just had that song, The Final Countdown then. Do you remember that song? Maybe that's significant for you. Does it remind you of your childhood? Reminds me of walking to school. Well, I don't know why, because it would have been on the radio at home. So perhaps it was just stuck in my head. I don't know. Let's have a look. What do we have as a final clarity on here? I am getting an energy of doubt, if I'm honest. You're doubting your ability to manifest this, I do feel. And it's because there's something that you aren't communicating. I feel like there's something that you're holding on to that you aren't speaking about, and you're locking that energy in, okay? So this is signaling to you it's time to let go. You're holding on to something that really does need to be communicated. Let me think. There's an energy here of you. I feel like you're harbouring some kind of information. You're keeping it to yourself. And it feels like this energy, you're getting restless by holding it in. You need to express it. You need to let it out. That's a message that's come through on there. That's why I think I keep feeling like I want to shuffle more and get more out on there. So let me just get something on the outcome of that. So if you were to let this out, if you were to let go of what it is that you are holding on to, that you're not communicating. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands that literally just fell right in there. So the outcome of it is good news, okay? The outcome of you letting go rather than holding on actually allows this transition to go smoothly. And it will feel like a load is lifted off you as well by expressing how you feel. This is about being honest, I feel, especially I'm seeing people that live with other people that really need to bring home some truth. And this could be maybe if you live with somebody and you're feeling like, well, actually, you know, I feel like I could do with having my own space for a bit, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. You know, it's just being honest, just being truthful. And actually, by opening up in that way, like I touched on before, it's going to help the other person to go, oh, do you know what? Actually, I was feeling exactly the same way. Let's make this happen. And then it's sorted. But if we go about making assumptions about what somebody thinks or feels in our lives, and we don't make changes because of that fear of hurting somebody or upsetting them, you hold in that somewhere within you and it brings you down. There's a restless energy about you that needs to be cleared in order for you to be able to take action and move forward, okay? So that's what this is signalling to you. But it does bring good news. It does bring good news. And this is quite a fast moving energy. So once this has been released, you'll start to see your manifestations moving quite quickly, actually. okay? And when the opportunities come in, don't let them pass you by. Don't haver, don't procrastinate. It's time to jump on them, okay? Because they won't hang around forever. So I'm going to leave your reading there today. If you would like to go deeper into this on a more personal level, then please do get in touch for a personalised reading. And as I say, I'm also offering these manifestation courses as well. So we can do all of that through video call to help you to, if there's something specific that you want to manifest at this time, I can help you to bring that in, okay? So please do like and subscribe to my channel, and I will speak to you very soon. Have a blessed day.